Hey guys, how's it going? And today I'm going to be showing you my PC build and what I got so far. So here we go. That is an image of the case I'm using. The brand is NZXT, and here's the box and the model. The S340 tower. Power supply, I'm using the Corsair SF600 power supply. As you can see, you are able to input power supplies and what you need. This is an ATX model, so it's a little bit smaller. You can get a bracket for it. I'm using a Gigabyte Z370P D3 motherboard, ultra durable, and I'll show you the specs on the back. Here we go. You got your specifications here. Picture the motherboard. It's going to tell you all the parts and everything you need here. They can support 4K and VR. And there I am using a Western Digital black hard drive using a 6 GB per second SATA cable and standard power supply connector with capabilities for multiple hard drives right there. This can support up to 4. So there you have it for the hard drive. You can see this is my power supply. Obviously, I know that this doesn't fit. A bracket is coming in on Monday, which will make this look a lot neater and smooth. For cable management, this case kind of has it all. It has a huge box in this area that can stuff all these cables that I don't need, that I'm not using at the moment, which is pretty neat. For cable extensions, they actually came in this box. I'll tell you the brand in the description of the video, but those two dots indicate the colors, black and red, and it's important that you get these cable extensions because if you don't, then your cables from the power supply will not be able to reach. You can see in the back here I am using these extensions with my 24 pin, my PCIe cable, which will connect to the graphics card, and then this, which connects to the CPU board, labeled an ATX chip. It's running up there, as you can see. And I do have an extra cable if I want to run 2 graphics processors, or or if my graphics processor needs 2 input connections. I have an extra extension for this, as well as another one somewhere in there. Quick fact for anybody using this case: the 2 fans that are located up there and there run down these wires and connect to this thing. Kind of has the 2 brown cables coming out of it. But if you're using the Corsair SF600, this will come with a power cable that looks like this, which connects to this. As you can see, there are 2 missing spots. That is fine. You will not need those. This will power your case fans. Now here in the front, I have my Gigabyte Z370P D3 motherboard. This supports the 8th generation Intel CPU chip, which I will be installing in 2 weeks, with a water cooling system. As you can see, I will be putting those 2 fans right there. I am using just the stock fans for right now because I don't want to install new ones yet. And as far as the 8th generation Intel CPU, the water cooling system I will be installing it'll be a Corsair Hydro pump, something like that. As far as connections go, so right now, this will be for the graphics processor, which I will install along this bar right here. As you can tell, I have the 2 slots out because that's what it's for. This will plug in like that, and I'll tuck those underneath. I have my master USB cord plugged in right here, which powers these 2 right here, as long as these 2. And then this is I'm using the master SATA cable port right here, so just right to the motherboard. Down here we have motherboard LEDs. These are important because, well, not really that important, but you don't have to use them, but they do help power the LED around this power button up here, somewhere, right there. I am running Master HD audio to that pin right there, because that's where it goes, because I'm smart. Okay? I might be using Corsair RAM, RGB RAM, but I'm not sure yet, so don't quote me on that. As you can see up here, I have my ATX 12 2x4 pin cable running right up here or on the top. As you can see, it's nice colors, matches the case. My 24 pin right here into the 24 pin spot. So I went ahead and did some cable management. As you can see, I got some zip ties here and there. Got the 24 pin wired up and around. I'll show you what the connections look like in the front. If you look in the front, we got our we got a 24 pin right here running like this. It's fine. Might space these out a tiny bit, but that's cool. And we got our 8 pin right here, which will plug in there into the GPU, which I'll have to do later. We got our little ETX CPU motherboard / everything connector. It goes right there. And so far, we're doing pretty good. Keep telling you I have this graphics card that I'm going to be plugging that cable into. Well, here it is. Feast your eyes. I call this the mother of all GPUs. This is the GTX Gigabyte version of the 1060. This will run around 200 FPS at 1080p to 4K on ultra settings. It's got dual fan, as you can see it spin really nice, and it's got its 8 pin with a square right here, and you actually place this onto the motherboard upside down, because you can see the labels right there. You do that, it looks something like that. Got the fan stop button if we want it silent. And we have our ports right out here. As you can see, we got USB, 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 and that is the HDMI. Well, this plugs into something, I'm not quite sure. But it's important. And that cable right there will plug into that piece right there. So I think we doing okay. So as we can see, I got all this fun stuff set up nice and tight. So there you go.